it's Gina with your note of the week. This week's note is about renumbering vendors. I get this question a lot. Gina, somebody clicked auto assign on the vendor record when they were building a new vendor, and of course auto assign gave that vendor a number. And I want to change the number into a name because that makes more sense to me, and I would agree. So there is a utility you can use called renumber vendors to change that number to a name, but there are some considerations. First of all, if you're multi-site and you replicate, you can only renumber vendors at the hub. Another consideration is you want to run the utility before you open or after you close. And finally, if you're interfacing to an accounting program, you'll have to make updates to the vendor records in the accounting program after you renumber in Counterpoint, or your interfaces will fail. So here's how to renumber vendors. First of all, I'm going to go into purchasing, and I'm just going to look at a vendor record. And you can see here I have some vendors with names, but a couple of them with numbers, and these are the ones I want to change. So I'm just going to exit from here. Under purchasing, you'll go to utilities, and you'll select renumber vendors. On the group line, you'll just type a name that you're going to call this worksheet. I always call mine renumber. And then press enter and give it a description. So I'm going to say renumber, and I'll even put a date, just so I have something for my report. Next, under old vendor number, you'll select the record that you want to change. So I'm going to select this one here, and on new vendor number, what you want the new name to be. So I'm going to say Adams. Now you can add as many vendors to this worksheet as you like. I usually stick around to 10 at a time if I'm doing a lot, because if this fails, it'll fail for the entire worksheet. And so you don't want to have a worksheet with 50 or 60 entries on it and have to figure out which one failed. So I'm just going to go back in here and select another one. Let's do this one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll change it to Acme. Now, once your worksheet is done, all you have to do is come up here and click on Renumber. Save your changes, and you'll get a report. I strongly recommend printing the report and keeping it on file, because once we run the renumber, you won't be able to get this report again. So just use your print icon up here and print. When you exit, you will get a warning, and the warning says you won't be able to run the report after renumbering, which I already explained. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on yes, and there we go, all done. So now when I go into purchasing and vendors, so let's go back to purchasing, and we'll get a vendors. Now you can see my vendors have changed. Here's the nice thing about this, you don't lose any history. If you have these vendors on current documents like purchasing documents, they're going to update immediately. What will not update is if you have a price rule associated with the vendor. 50% off all Acme. You're going to have to update the price rules with the new vendor name. That's it for your note of the week. I hope you enjoyed this. Talk to you next week. Thanks for joining me for this session of Note of the Week. Hope to see you again soon. We would love to hear from you. If you would like to submit a question for Note of the Week, email training@cksystem.com, and on the subject line, type Note of the Week. If you would like to schedule training time or request a free training catalog, call me at 888-476-7911, extension 3. Talk to you next week. Bye.